What's going on, gamers? My name is Snitch, and welcome to another episode of Become a Legend. Today we're playing the Twisted Fate. I went for the Twisted Fate this game because I was looking at every draft, and they went for casted and mid. But we needed AP on our composition. I've been trying to try different mid laners that I think work into Twisted Fate, but work into casted, but are actually ability power champs. I think Twisted Fate is one of them. You have a pretty good lane phase and into the casted, and you can kind of punish him at the mid game. He can't just jump on you like you can other champions because you can pull the gold card preemptively. And obviously if you have the stun, he'll just get punished if he tries to play too aggressively into you. So yeah. Gonna be using the standard kind of rage into melee lane setup here, where I'm gonna, get the single auto. At this point, I'm gonna slow build the wave. Taking the third ability level 1, gives me some attack speed to attack here. Honestly, this trade isn't super effective. You gotta be careful with minion aggro when you're fighting a trade like that, because walking into him is gonna be net loss for me because of the minion damage I take. But I do have fleet this game on the Twisted Fate, so I feel a little bit more confident kind of taking a trade like that, and then having like passive sustain from fleet, healing me up a bit. Don't really have a window to punish him on that CS. Got to get the one up. He does have the second ability, which gives him a lot of range. But you see here, he walks up for this one. Gonna get a red card in, get a few autos. That's a much better trade. You see, I'm only looking to punish him when he goes into lost it. Other than that, I'm just slow building the wave, making sure I get every single CS. This is honestly a really big aspect of your game you could probably improve very easily, is stop thinking too much about laning and killing your opponent, and just think more about farming and making sure you basically get 100% farm that you can achieve yourself, Unless you have the bad matchup, you should be getting pretty much every CS that you can. Trying to Pokemon to the tower here, where I'm crashing with a slightly larger wave. This is another advantage of building the wave slowly. Gives you a bigger wave to kind of mess with your opponent while they're stuck under the tower. So yeah, health resources look pretty similar here, but I do still have my fruit, and I do have that fleet available as well. He's walking up here to try and trade me, and you see I'm not scared. I'm confident in my limit knowledge here that I'll win the trade, so I do end up blowing his flash and his ignite. And then here I have the priority for my earlier stack wave to rotate to this fight that's happening in the river. Gonna get the stun on TF, or on to Thresh, sorry, and picking up the kill. And we're going to win this skirmish. So my team is kind of winning anyway, but I also had the priority to secure, any situation that would go on. We would have an advantage. Going to be picking now the caster that does the flash. So here, I could look to try and freeze the wave and maintain a better position, but I figured it was kind of going to be bad for me long term with regards to my resources if I ended up holding this wave defensively. I maybe could have left it and it could have slow pushed and maybe kept it outside my tower barely, but I think it was a little bit too big. So I ended up just thinning it out and clearing it. As it was a small window where I knew Kha'Zix was going to be in the base. I knew he would be able to gank me mid, basically. And I could get the wave under tower. So even if I give Castle a bit of farm there, it gives me just a better reset timing and a better lane state coming back for me long term, I think. I didn't really have the mana to thin it too correctly. And if I held it for too long and Kha'Zix came, it'd be really, really bad. So we get level 5 here, I've got the ultimate. Hovering bot side, looking for an opportunity to go. I think I actually wait a little bit too long here. My gold's going to time out, but it is going to basically end up killing Fiora because I just TP behind. Secures the kill. I'm going to be trying to follow Vi here. I'm pretty sure this is a pretty big misplay here. I tried to flash gold Kha'Zix after this, but I just barely don't get in range, I think. Yeah, just barely out of range. It is a little bit further, but yeah, it's going to be pretty bad. We're going to give Cassidy a couple kills here, I think, or at least one. Pop the barrier, try to fight it out. But this is pretty disastrous. I think it's just going to be me. Vi's going to end up getting away. Definitely an error there. Just trying to get a little bit more value. Because I did use the ultimate, and all it really secured was a kill for Jax. I didn't even get an assist on it. So obviously when you use TF ultimate, you're going to be trying to get value out of it every single time. But ended up just going a bit too far. Trying to, collapse on the Kha'Zix there. Should have just given it up after Vi maybe got the flash, or even earlier than that, honestly. I just ended up going aggressively because Vi was looking pretty aggressive. But lane state's not too bad on my return. Do have a cannon here, so I'm not worried too much about trying to freeze the wave or hold it. Just gonna be clearing this out. So yeah, pushing up aggressively under the cast at the caster, but I'm tethering pretty effectively is what they would call it, where I'm moving in a way where I know I'm slightly outside of his range, and I'm always ready to pull the gold if I do feel like he's gonna jump in and try and get a good trade. So here I see he's gonna trade. I pull a card straight away. And then use the attack speed buff to get some good damage on the way out. I do have to take quite a lot of damage. He did get a lot of go for that kill. And yeah, he is going to basically be, 100 gold behind me, give or take. That's mainly the TF passive, making that difference. Itemization-wise, this game, nothing too crazy, honestly. Enemy composition is fairly standard. I can definitely think about Mercury Treads against Cassid and Thresh. But they don't have too much CC. So I don't have to worry too much. Could definitely just look for the classic Ionian boots, get some extra CDR. So objective time is coming up now. Priorities changing from holding mid-wave to just shoving it, basically. Making sure I can try and get information and hold positions for my team. Gonna hold this spot aggressively. Cassidon's gonna face check. Gonna get a bit of a trade here. He's gonna come in aggressively. But my team already have position as well. I was hovering towards them. Vi's gonna go in onto the tower. It's kind of wild, but it ends up working out because Ricard follows really well. So it's just a great setup for my team. But it all kind of stems from, you know, them getting prior top, me having prior mid. I can hold the brush, Cassidon face checks, and then we translate all that into a kill and a play. But yeah, it stems from earlier setup, basically from everybody involved. Gonna pop the ultimate here to give vision. This is a different usage of TF ultimate, which is kind of getting information instead of using it aggressively initially. I'm gonna reveal the Kha'Zix soloing the Herald. I know I'm tanky enough to survive his engage here, and we're gonna have to pick that one up as well. So I looked at everyone's positioning. Fiora was being very greedy, not helping Kha'Zix with the Herald, pushing bot tower instead. Rest of the team was topside in the jungle. Narrowly gonna escape there on the recall, but you know, we won't talk about it. So I can identify that I can go and pressure the Kha'Zix while he's trying to do Herald. I have barrier available. I know I probably won't die. I had flash available as well if I really needed it. And then yeah, Jack shows up. We end up getting the kill, which basically, you know, kind of stems from mostly Fiora's greed, I think. But you know, maybe we wouldn't have known all the positions if I hadn't used my ultimate the way I had to get the information to know that that play was safe to go for. Gonna push out mid here. A little bit behind Castle on XP, mainly because of that big death for bot side. He also got a full wave from that, so that you can see the XP differential even now. Basically stems solely from that roam on bot side where I ended up dying. Already posturing here bot side, so here's kind of reading map state, and kind of we saw Kha'Zix Fiora, you know, pathing towards bot side. So at that point, I'm already moving towards bot side as well, preemptively for the play. If you go back and kind of watch that aspect again and watch how I move on the map, you see I cleared the wave and I immediately start pathing bot with the vision that we had. Seeing that Kha'Zix is heading bot side, I think it was clearing a ward. And I immediately go to set up and be, you know, ready to be there ahead of time. I'm basically there before anything happens, but I'm just hovering. If nothing happens, I'll just go back mid and farm. But something does end up happening, and I'm already there. So a bit of a skirmish happened topside. I see that they're low up there. I'm going to use my TF ultimate to teleport into the brush here, which actually means the enemy doesn't see me coming, and they don't see it until it's too late. I'm going to end up sidestepping the hook here, pick up the Ezreal. At this point, you know, Thresh is just a freebie as well. You can't get away. And I actually get a 1v2 double here, picking them up on the back end of that play they made topside, which is the counter play to our bot side play. But it basically means that long term we won the whole map. And that's kind of just using the global advantage. So we see everybody else on the map is showing here. I'm just going to stay top and look to prioritize getting personal gold and finishing up this tower. Even though it's a Herald, I don't feel like I need to rotate for this. It's more beneficial for the overall team if I just get my own personal gold XP here, finish up this tower. I don't really have the health or resources to go for this fight anyway. We do end up winning it regardless. But for me, it didn't really make sense for me to come. Grabbing the RFC second here, I realized that TF do the loot in RFC. Just gives you a lot of utility straight away. This is definitely the TF build I prefer. None of that AD nonsense. If you want to play a standard TF, you play AP. And yeah, personally I like loot in RFC because it gives you a lot of damage and lets you rush for this RFC utility. You throw gold cards like that, you know? That's mega range. I'll just get a lot of value very easily. So here I just group mid. I already saw my bot lane grouping here. And yeah, we're just going to blow them up when they try to punish us, you know? We're not going too far. We're playing generally pretty safe. Just play around gold card. But yeah, the second they try to just collapse on us and fight us, I just know that we're stronger, you know? So I'm already just standing with my team, ready to throw stuns and just look for easy pickups. You know, at this point, you know, I'm 4-1, Draven's 2-1, but we both got, you know, 7.5k plus gold. So we're in a really good spot here. 8k gold team advantage. You can just kind of feel this in the game, or you could math it out yourself if you wanted, I guess. If you wanted to look at all the gold scores and you could work it out for sure. So at this point in the game, coming back on the map, gonna be immediately trying to farm jungle. There's jungle up. I see Vi's top side. He's resetting. It's gonna be a while to get to this raptor camp. Gonna get it cycling a bit faster, so I'm gonna pick it up. Enemy's gonna drop the Herald in mid. This Kha'Zix champion's gonna jump on me here. Very balanced. Probably gonna end up losing the mid tower to the Herald, but maybe we can pick up some kills on the backside. Got the gold card pulled. Don't really get an angle for it. A little low here, so I have to be kind of safe. I think I'm going to pop the ultimate here. Yeah, just giving my team the vision while they chase. And then again, I'm going to use this trick I talked about where you teleport at a brush so the enemy doesn't see the indicator. And I can snipe the Ezreal with this gold on the back end. Team fight's going on. Our team's diving a little bit aggressively. Definitely where we should pull it. And then yeah, looks like we're going to pick up this T2 tower. I'm going to end up staying here so we can make sure we get it. Castellan's coming back though. It's a little bit dangerous. Rakan's definitely in trouble here, playing a bit too forwards, but he is going to be able to jump out, and we're going to get it clean. No mistakes were made on this day. Nothing to worry about. Bit of a play coming on bot side. Enemy's going to try and punish kind of the late reset from Jax. This is something you have to be aware of. You know, when we've all reset mid, Jax suddenly isn't safe anymore. But you see what I do here is I realize that they're collapsing on Jax, and I use this time to immediately push a mid wave. This gets us another wave, and again, kind of sets our waves up in a way where the enemy can't really do much. You know, our mid tower is very low, but even though they got this kill, because I cleared this wave, there's no threat of them pushing mid. They can see they're going to be going aggressively in our jungle, trying to look for even more picks, because they don't really have anything else they can do. Their waves aren't in a good place to push at all. Hero's going to go down here on the last axe. Absolutely tragic. Dragon spawning, sadly, and we are kind of on a bad reset. Same trick, you know, I'm always doing this on TF. But Pressure is going to spot me out here, go for the hook. But I have picked up the stasis. Could have stasis a little later. I was trying to wait for the Rakan knock up, but I think I have stasis a little early. Get a golden cast in here. Vi's going to follow that with the ultimate. It's a little bit far, but we can follow it a little bit. This Kha'Zix is a little scary. I stun the ramp check him because he goes invisible. Classic. But we pick up the double kill. Snipe him with the wild cards. Wild is himself. No kill for you, sir. And it's definitely a bit of a stomp this game, right? But there's a lot of elements that went into how we got ahead. It wasn't just like we crushed every lane and smashed everybody. It was all about like how we used priority and where we set up on the map and the way we played together and who shadowed who and this kind of stuff. You know, there's a lot of elements of like how this became a stomp that wasn't just like you know, we just crushed every lane. Everybody giga snowballed, you know? None of the lanes dramatically won. Everybody was fairly even for the most part. Until like the objectives came around and we just had really good traps and setups with our CC and our vision, and we managed to utilize that to get really big advantages. As opposed to, yeah, the standard, you know, Jack's coming out lane and he's 10 and 0 and you can't do anything. Jack's pushing up top here. Getting a bit low up there. He's a bit crazy. I'm watching this on the map, of course. You know, I recognize he's in trouble. Draven actually sniped the Cassidy. He's gonna zone you here. He has the flash to get out. I'm gonna show up with the gold card, helping him escape there. So that was pretty clutch, but definitely a bit riskier than I would have liked to play it. I'm gonna wait here in case Kha'Zix comes again, you know, after the first ultimate, but he ends up not coming. So at this point, we're kind of waiting for Baron to spawn. We don't have many other plays. We know we're really ahead. We don't really have any other opportunities. Just looking to see if they overextend, and if they don't overextend, we just farm and wait for Baron. Because we should be able to force Baron. Once again, you know, that idea of prioritizing enemy jungle. This is kind of an easy objective to take. When you do have outer towers, you can easily farm the enemy jungle. Especially when you have more vision than we do right now. But even without the vision, we still feel confident just run in. Because you can pretty much one-shot anyone at this point. So this is a really easy way to kind of starve out your opponent without just doing something crazy like diving under towers or just going insane, you know? Just eat their jungle and kind of stay, you know, keep getting ahead that way. Going for a bit of a crazy dive here, but, you know, we're so far ahead, you don't have to worry too much about it. And again, that's just kind of waiting. You know, Kha'Zix pulls down the lane, shows, then we immediately punish, you know? We're not diving into their base or doing anything too crazy. Just keeping it standard. Playing around vision. Playing around the tools that we have. Trying to hit Ezreal here to limit their damage output. Holding off Thresh and Ezreal while my team battles Fiora. Thresh is going to get away with 1 HP there. Sadly enough. Fiora's living a while, man. I almost got him with the cards. But yeah, we are going to take him down. And we have Jax pushing up top the whole time. Nobody can really hold Jax that effectively at this point in the game, you know. I pop the ultimate here in case they chase Jax a bit. Just giving more intelligence again. It's a very short cooldown at this point in the game, and I'm just using it to farm, honestly. I'm just going to go ahead and take this crab, get some more fruit. Push this one out. And now the Baron's up, we could kind of play for the Baron bait, you know, which is where we set up vision. Try and get a pick around Baron. Try and deny their vision so they don't know that we're doing it, and then either rush it when they can't get there in time, or we get a pick, and then we can kind of like, you know, try and take a fight with a numbers advantage. So we are going to end up starting it here soon, I think. I'm just going to end up staying mid. And my mindset here is I don't want to give away that we're doing it, because I don't think they have vision anyway. We did catch Kha'Zix topside on this ward, so that gives us a lot of intelligence to know that's pretty safe. I end up staying mid again, not really giving away anything away until it's already low enough that I can just come and we can just finish it really fast. Then we get the Baron. So now we can definitely highlight from this point on some mistakes that you can make in high elo games, even with a massive advantage. So we're all going to reset here, which is definitely what we should have to do with the Baron. But our bot lane's actually not going to reset. They're going to have to continuously push it down bot. Just feeling really confident in how strong they are. And I mean, you can see Draven's damage. It's not small, but it's not enough to 1v5. So they end up kind of getting caught here. Once again, I'm kind of using this idea of like, even though my team is losing a fight, I'm making sure to pressure somewhere. So I'm pushing out this top side. We're still pressuring mid wave as well. We've got the Baron and Power minions, but with only 3 of us alive, it's going to be pretty hard to get too much value. We should be able to claim this outer tower, at the very least. But at this point of the game, the gold leads definitely start to matter a bit less as the fight goes, or as the game kind of goes on. We end up hovering here, looking for some picks. This is definitely too aggressive. We probably shouldn't be doing this. But we're going to end up doing it anyway. I end up getting sniped by this Thresher, which is pretty unfortunate. And then I kind of stasis a little badly. Trying to get a space for Jax to get out here. He's going to jump out. But we're going to get flash hooked by Thresh. And we're going to end up getting 3-man wiped here. We do kill Kha'Zix, which is pretty important to be honest, because it does limit how much objective power they have. But we do end up getting 3-man wiped again. So it's getting pretty close. And at this point, we're kind of staggering deaths. This is something you really have to be conscious of in this kind of game. Even when we're really far ahead, you can see like the fact that we're staggering deaths is giving the enemy so much control. And what I just mentioned about gold leads mattering less. A lot of champions at this point of the game, you know, the enemy is 50k gold, right? Most of their champions are going to be 5 digits. Yeah, 4 of them at least are 5-digit gold. Draven is really strong. But again, you know, now they're fighting 2v5 again after we just fought 3v5. Well, they're fighting 2v4. And once again, they just don't have the firepower to win the fight 2v4, you know? And that's another cycle death. So again, we're going to be 3 alive and they're going to be 2 dead, you know, for another 40 seconds. This is really something you have to be hyper-focused on in this kind of scenario. And you have to be the one to kind of rise above and be like, everybody chill out, you know? We're going to keep cycling deaths and kind of just losing the game, you know? Gonna go spot Fiora here, going for an aggressive push. He's going to go ahead and use the parry. But it's not going to be enough. Even with the ultimate, doesn't have enough to kill me. My team is coming. I'm picking that one up. It was a really good use of TF. Oh, just trying to catch someone on the back end of a push like that. And you know, we're really looking for the jungle again. It's once again a little bit greedy. They only have 1 dead. We still have 2 dead. But you know, we're still pretty ahead at gold. And we were getting some good push down mid lanes. We're getting some information from Jax that probably meant they weren't gonna be in the jungle. We definitely have enough damage to one-shot Kha'Zix. We didn't even use the bio ultimate yet, so... Worst case, we could have got him. Cleaning up side waves here. Cleaning up jungle. A really good habit is to basically just make sure your jungle is entirely farmed at all times. Regardless of the game state, you want every camp to be ticking. Otherwise, it's just gold sitting there on the map for nothing. Popping the ultimate, getting some vision. I can only really jump to the Thresh here, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump to him and try and get some damage. But with Aftershock, I'm not really doing much. Draven even ults. He's like, I'll help you, but... not much to be done there. And once again, we're 5 on the map, you know, stabilizing again. A little bit of a fight brewing in mid. And we're going to kind of fumble the engage. Once again, it's kind of a moment we have to realize that we should probably chill and stop. Casting, getting a lot of value here. I throw a gold on the Kha'Zix over the wall. But Draven takes a lot of upfront damage when the fight starts. He's going to get sniped by the Ezreal as well. We're gonna lose Rakan immediately. And yeah, at this point, like, we're trying to fight, but we're so melee heavy to kind of cast it and Thresh. And it's a bit of a freaking disaster. We're all dead.
Enemy killing spree.
What does Draven have to think here? He has to think, well, how does the enemy win this game at this point? They almost certainly win it every single time. The only way they don't win is if they don't have minion waves. If you're not familiar with the idea of fortification, essentially if there's no minions around a tower or the nexus, your champions will do dramatically less damage to it. This is to prevent backdoor mechanic, or backdoors essentially. So you see, he throws the ult here. It's not as good an angle as he possibly could have got maybe, but it kills a lot of the wave, and it's actually going to stall it out here. So even though he dies here, we actually have nexus fortification. So the enemy's trying to end, but their wave is now outside of the range. Rakan's going to respawn, manage to pick up these kills. And once again, you know, it's actually a small play that pretty much saved the game. Was the way that Draven angled his ult to clear out the minions on the way. Kill the 2 melees so the cannons were stuck behind, and we get the nexus fortification back. And we're actually going to clutch this game that we should have won easily, but we ended up fumbling a bit. With some pretty big mistakes. From the whole team, basically. Like, at some point, somebody had to just be like, we need to chill and stop running it down, you know? But we are going to end up being able to get to the Baron here. So really close with the enemy team to getting a big comeback there. And that's, you know, it could be that easy at Wild Rift, you know. Gaslighting going to try and hold this Baron. He's pretty aware that if we get this, they're pretty much guaranteed to lose. So he's going to try and make a hero play, but he's going to die as well. One thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to sell my Ludens for Infinity Orb. This is pretty good to do in Giga late game, when you don't need the early game power from Ludens as much. Obviously, you lose some haste with this thing, but you do get a lot more damage, as I'll be sure to showcase in about 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Gonna go ahead and use my TP into the brush trick. Gonna hit this Kazik with the gold card and just one-shot it. So his mistake there, I guess, for being on the map. At this point, yeah, we got the Baron. It's a late game Baron. We got a really big gold lead. Jax is just splitting bot. We're doing the Elder Dragon. But this is just utilizing Jax's split push power. I think he's actually gonna win this 1v2 against everyone, especially with the Elder, you know, just blows him up. Blah. So cool, dude. And yeah, finally we'll close out the game. Could have been a lot cleaner. You could definitely see there's a lot of mistakes to learn from, basically from everyone here. A lot of errors, but there's a lot, you know, to learn from that we did that was good as well, right? There's a lot of good aspects of the gameplay that can be utilized for sure. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Really helps out the channel. Also subscribe for more content like this. Like I said, I'll be trying to do more of these videos. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next one.